Students ask me, what features do I look for in a sewing machine? And there are a few that truly help me. Needle stop down is one of the first ones that comes to mind. It means that the needle stops down into the fabric each time you let up on the foot feed. And that helps you be able to move your hands, take pins out, reposition the quilt, whatever you need to do, and start up right where you stopped. Very important. A half stitch capability is kind of nice. You have to bring up the bobbin thread, which I'll show you later. But you need to be able to take one stitch or take a half stitch and then take another half a stitch. And sometimes that's in a button and sometimes it's a heel press on the foot feed. So either way, as long as you have control of that, it's very nice. If you have to use the flywheel, it's a little more bulky, but it can be done. It's not a huge deal. The feed dogs need to be able to be dropped or covered to do free motion quilting. We don't want the feed dogs to interfere with our moving of the fabric. So if it's just a cover that goes over the top, that's fine, but I would double check to make sure that when the presser foot is down in the down position that you can still move your fabric freely, that's not taking up too much room. Some machines have a presser foot pressure dial, which means that it will lessen the presser foot pressure. It will raise it up just a little bit if you have a thicker quilt, or if it's pressing down a little bit too hard on the fabric, you don't have free motion of the fabric. That is a nice feature, not on very many machines though. I have not seen that a lot. A knee lift for the presser foot is very nice, and that means that instead of having to go here and move the presser foot, I can do it with my knee and not have to move my hands. Very nice feature. Some of the newer machines, I'm very excited to see, have a bigger throat, and the throat area of the machine is right here, and that's where you're kind of trying to stuff a lot of that quilt in there. So if that's a little bit bigger, it's definitely a big help. Not all machines have it. It's not necessary. I've done all my quilting on the smaller throat, so it can be done. But if you're in the market for a new machine and that's an option, not a bad thing to have. The accessories that you need to go along with your machine, for the free motion especially, in the early days of machine quilting, about the only option that was available, and this probably still comes standard with every machine, was a darning foot. And there's bigger ones and there's smaller ones, and they're usually a full ring and they're metal. So it works and it doesn't press down on your fabric, lets you move your fabric, but it kind of impairs your vision a little bit. Then they came out with these open-toed darning feet, and that was a little bit more helpful. You could kind of see your needle a little bit better. But now we've progressed to a free motion foot, and those are plastic, and you can really see through them. You have a lot of visibility. My only problem personally is that I tend to break them, so I have to be a little careful. Sometimes I get a little excited and I go a little too fast and I catch it on a safety pin and I break them, but does not stop me from using them. It's truly worth it. In small doses, we will use a walking foot. This does not come with all machines. It is something that is probably almost always an added accessory, a little bit of pricey, but definitely necessary. It even feeds all layers of the quilt through the machine and helps even feed that. And I'll talk later about where to use it and what times are good to use it and where not to use it. So it has limited use, but it's very helpful when we do use it. So it is something I would recommend that you buy.